Night of the Living podcast is always ad-free for patrons at patreon.com/NOTLP.
And that's the night the lights stayed on in Georgia.
Yep, you can see
less interesting story.
pretty much everything you needed to see. It's a pretty convenient night.
Yeah,
Too many lights, if you ask me.
could have been. A little light pollution out there. Welcome to the Night of the Living podcast. My name's Amy. I'm here with Freddy.
Good evening.
Andy.
You got to smoke?
You gotta smoke. You gotta smoke. Smokes. Today we're wrapping up the Real HouseKNIVEs of Beverly Kills month. The film starring a young Kim Richards, who was on Beverly Hills, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, there for a few years with her sister. We're talking about Assault on Precinct 13 from the 70s. So if you haven't seen it by now, whoo! This is a spoiler. That kid got shot.
Yeah, she got blown away.
Oh my God.
And you know why? Because she looked a gift horse in the mouth. We'll get to it.
We'll get to it.
What is a gift horse? Is it a horse that gives gifts?
A gift horse is
It's
a
the
horse that
Trojan
it was
horse.
given to you as a gift. So
is that what the thing came from?
yeah, and to look it in the mouth meant you were checking the health of the horse, and it's insulting to the person who gave you the horse as a gift.
Oh, okay.
I really don't know.
It's kind of like when
I
you
just
get.
told you. Now
I
you know.
believe you.
So
It's
like,
true.
remember those Hallmark commercials where you had to flip the back to see if it was Hallmark?
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
That's considered insulting, right?
Yeah, that's looking a gift horse in the mouth
Yeah.
precisely. That is exactly the same thing.
That's a fucked up advertising campaign, and it would just not fly nowadays.
Yeah, it's basically
Yeah.
saying like if your friends don't give you Hallmark cards, you're trash.
They don't
Your
cheat.
friends are trash.
Yeah.
They don't spend an extra 75 cents on a card for
Or
you.
are they saying that your friends don't and loved ones don't care enough to get the best for you?
That's
when
what
you
they're
care
saying.
enough to send the very best?
That's
What is that?
Isn't that there? Isn't that what it says? Isn't that them?
Yeah.
Hallmark.
I guess I don't care then because I just
Yeah.
went to the Walgreens
Yeah.
and CVS.
Everyone's
You're
getting
like 99
mahogany
cents?
this week because they're on sale.
99 cents
Then
birthday
American
cards.
greetings.
Happy birthday, champ.
Then Maud. Well, what's her name? There's a whole series of cards with that old lady.
Oh, Maxine.
Yeah,
Maxine on them. I won't accept anything but Maxine cards. If
So-
you send me anything else, I pretty much put it right in the incinerator.
Do you have an incinerator?
Don't you?
Who has an incinerator anymore?
These days, who has an incinerator?
So, yeah, we're wrapping up the month. You guys don't have to hear me talk about the housewives anymore, although I have kept it remarkably chill. You guys could know so much more,
We could.
but I don't think you want to.
I don't. I like
You
experiencing
could hear
it
about
a
the
little
bunny
bit.
incident with Lisa Rinna. Oh my God.
Did
We
you
don't
say-
talk about the
Is
husbands.
it a
And
good incident with the bunny or a bad incident?
bad, but it's not a
No,
real
it's
bunny.
It's bad bunny.
It's a bad bunny, but it's a stuffed bunny, so don't worry, nobody's were harmed.
Was
It's
she
not like
smuggle
Fatal
drugs?
Attraction.
There's nothing boiling.
So Lisa Rinna and Kim Richards were not friends. They were not friendly.
Uh-huh.
And Lisa Rinna gave Kim Richards a gift basket with like a stuffed bunny for her daughter just had a kid or something. She's grandma now. And she's like, here, I know we don't get along, but here's this gift.
Yeah.
Cut to the reunion months later. Kim Richards is like, I don't want this, and gave her back the fucking gift she gave her for her kid.
Is that
baby.
looking a gift horse in the mouth?
It was rude.
That's just rejecting a
Okay.
gift.
Yeah.
I mean, unless she was like, can you do better?
But let me tell you, the way these two women are actresses, we've discovered that this very month, Lisa Rinna and Kim Richards are good actresses. And the way that this drama went down at the reunion, I'm
I'm
It was
curious
amazing.
about how much they're paid
Yeah, I don't know.
because it's going to take a lot for me
Oof, a whole lot.
to be around people I don't like.
I thought you meant just in general to be on the show.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
To be paid, like
Yeah,
to,
just
to
from
be
day to day.
to have to hang out with people I don't like,
Yeah.
and that cause drama. I'm just curious about. I'm sure like a lot of it is they do it because they love attention. And
they got something to sell.
It probably leads to other endorsements and stuff like that.
Do you think?
But man,
is it ever going to be like the NFL, where reality shows are going to be held to account for some syndrome they've created in people?
There's a whole kind of reckoning going on right now with several stars trying to sue for basically saying that the producers of the show destroyed my sobriety on purpose.
Right.
There's, Bethany trying to unionize.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't care. Just bring me my trash.
She's like the Norma Ray of
Bethany
reality shows.
Yeah.
Can fuck off.
I would just love to know what they would call their organization when it's all said and done if they do unionize, because you have like the Teamsters or the Freemasons and everybody else. So the pipe fitters is a favorite of mine.
Maybe they could.
Dirty.
Like, are they going to march in front of Bravo offices with
in their
picket signs and stuff?
Fucking stilettos, yes.
They're gonna have one of those stretch limos, party limos instead out front, and the picket
Sprinter
signs
vans.
Yeah, it'll come out of the roof
and
instead.
They'll be harassing all the scabs that cross the picket line.
Yeah, they're like, "This is hard work. What we're doing here."
Hey, drinking rosé in front of your enemies—that's hard work.
It's hard work.
Getting your glam done every day for hours.
Dude, their blood pressure has to be super high, though.
I don't care.
I bet every last one of them has insanely high stress.
Are performing just circus monkeys to me. Just dance and swing around.
Yeah.
Okay, what is your price?
Oh, to do something like this?
Like bare minimum.
Well, I mean,
did they get residuals?
I don't know the answers to that.
One season would have to take care of me for the rest of my life financially.
Yeah.
So that's like in tens of millions.
It'd probably be like $10-20 million for me to even be willing to do like one season of a reality show. Thankfully, no one's knocking at my door to do that.
Like, what show? We've talked about this before, though, right? Like, what show would you do if you?
Rick.
I don't remember what my answers were or what any of your answers were, but I would say
I want to be a competition show.
That's what I'm. Yeah, I would do Nailed It for sure.
Reality shows where it's about your life.
Yeah,
that's a little too personal.
Yes.
I can't do Survivor.
No,
because mosquitoes. Come on.
Oh no.
Yeah, I hate.
I think
mosquitoes.
they give you protection against mosquitoes.
I hate
right?
them so much.
Is it the disease factor?
A little bit.
You get shots, but you can still get bit. Right?
True. You just won't get malaria, maybe.
Mosquitoes love me.
They do.
Me too.
And when they do bite me, they leave marks. So my whole leg would. Like CBS would have to pay for cosmetic surgery on top of my appearance fees for
all your welts.
Yeah,
they'd have to sand those off for you.
I don't know. Can't do Big Brother. That's just too long.
You can't watch TV or read books
24/7.
Fuck off.
Can't even jerk off on camera because they'll catch it.
Yeah.
So Naked and Afraid is off the table then too.
Well, they pixelate it.
I would never any of these.
But you also have to deal with mosquitoes.
Never.
On your penis.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe that jury duty show, that'd be fun. With James Marsden.
With James Marsden, that
where
was
you're
fun.
Just an unknowing,
like a
rube,
like a sucker.
Just a person who signed up for for a documentary about something and ended up in something else.
Yeah, but I guess I wouldn't know I'll be on jury duty.
Yeah,
I think I'll be too savvy.
I want to be on Worst Cooks in America because I am one.
Yeah,
and nailed it.
I
in both shows where I don't have to be good at anything. I just have to be fun.
And that's genuine too, because I feel a lot of times on Nailed It, they kind of play it up.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I don't know what to do. Right. Oops, the cake fell.
Yeah.
But I would literally be crying.
Yeah.
And Nicole Byer is real fun.
I love her so much.
What about you, Freddy? What could you go on?
Diners, drive-ins, drive-ins.
So you're just going to be, he's just going to be
Is that a reality show? I just want to go eat.
He's going to be a patron that they interview.
Yeah, and they'll be like, how is it? I've been coming here for 15 years to the chili every Friday. Every Friday I'm in here eating this chili. And then he'll be like, there you have it. It's got to be good then. That's Guy Fieri.
No, I could tell.
Yeah.
I love watching those shows, like where there's clearly not background actors, but people they just
Oh, they
Friends
have
and family,
They
usually.
for sure, like, yeah,
and
they're vetting,
and they're
who's
just
on
pretending
screen.
to eat. Like,
Yeah.
There's probably people. My guess, I know, based it on nothing, is that those are the friends and families
Yeah.
of the owners of the restaurants, and they close down for diners.
The most attractive ones.
Yeah.
that
the
they
most
could
attractive
find.
ones. Yeah,
Yeah, they'll slap them in there.
it would be my guess. My guess. Besides that, other reality shows I would like to do.
Oh, what was that?
West Coast Choppers.
The one where you run across obstacle courses.
Wipeout.
Wipeout. That looks fun.
I want to do Holy Moly.
I just want to watch other people work.
See, holy moly!
I'm not good at golf, but
Is that okay? Holy moly is the golf one.
the putting
Okay.
or yeah,
That was
the
fun.
mini golf kind of thing.
When
I
you
could
said
do that. I think.
when you said holy moly, I thought it was that game where you had to
Oh, hole in the wall.
fit into like a human-shaped hole.
How are
came
we
towards you.
not?
Oh, that was just called The Hole.
Was
wasn't
it? Okay.
Why
Too
have
many
we
hole
not
games.
just like stopped and gone? We idiocracy'd.
We did.
Oops.
Well, we did.
We had the floor is lava. Is
Yeah.
it cake?
Yeah. We've been told we're in an idiocracy
I liked is it cake.
so many times, but we refuse to believe it.
I know.
The truth is, we've always been in one. That's the twist at the end. When we
Okay.
find real documentation of the founding fathers being incredibly dumb.
You're watching Franklin. I
Yeah.
refuse because I don't want to.
Oh, was that the Benjamin Franklin with Michael Douglas?
Yeah. Yeah, not the Peanuts spinoff.
Where's his
So,
show?
Yeah.
what have you found out
Well,
about the founding fathers? Are they idiots?
no.
They're flatulent.
They get into the thing about Franklin.
I didn't really need history.
I'm really enjoying Franklin. It's Michael Douglas.
Yes.
You may think it's Kirk Douglas
Nobody
for a moment
does,
if
'cause
you're my age.
Long gone?
Long gone.
Well,
Kirk
actually, no. He
Douglas.
lived a long time,
He lived into his
but
hundreds.
he is dead. R.I.P.
So, anyways, it's the son, who is incredibly old as well.
The one that got throat cancer
Yeah.
from his wife's pussy.
Ooh, damn!
That's what he told everyone.
So he's been
Get your
Franklin.
HPV vaccines.
And it takes
work.
place in 1776, right in the heat of the birth of our nation. And it's all about the intrigue and the personal life also of Benjamin Franklin in Paris with his grandson.
Listen, God bless the French people and all the help they gave us. Lovely people.
I love
Can't
France.
understand you. I don't understand your accent. I don't like it. It hurts my ears. It scrapes against the little hairs in my ears. I
Yeah,
hate it.
that's awful.
Sorry.
What a mean thing to say to a whole bunch of people.
That just came out, man. Woo. Sorry.
You know what it is? You're bitter about the bad trip you had there.
No, I
You're
had-
holding on to something,
It's not their fault I had food poisoning because I got it in another place, but
but you blame the accent now.
having to find somewhere to shit everywhere I went,
Yeah.
That's
difficult.
That would make everybody hate the French
Yeah.
accent.
That's a you problem. It's not a France
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah.
no, it's a more fucking London's problem.
Because you were spraying diarrhea out and people are like, Zut alors.
I know.
And you're like, well, fuck you then.
Anyway,
You want to let it
How's
go together?
Franklin?
Let's
You
let
like
it go
it?
together.
what?
The hatred of the French accent. We can do it. Let's let it go together. Everybody hold hands.
Just go to Epcot.
Okay,
Go to Epcot. Okay.
Get
Franklin's
some,
in Paris.
food there, and you'll be fine.
squeeze your bread.
And Paris rocks. And Paris is just the coolest. The way they show it, 1776, there's a woman who is, and I'm terrible at keeping up with who is who, but this woman has this giant hair,
Like a powdered wig. type
powdered
thing.
wig, but it also has a hat on top of it that has a ship model on top of it. So this is fucking entertaining.
All
you
right,
know?
French people, come on.
So there's the big hat with a ship model ship on top, which is just amazing, and all the costumes, unbelievably cool. But the show is really great, and they throw. It's almost like it's a goofy fan service for history nerds too, because like, you know how
they
people,
throw it in like, oh, they brought him back, shit.
Like,
And then-
oh my god, the
did they-
continental
It's like
conqueror.
things like, oh my god, it's the kite and the key.
Yeah,
That
stuff
type of
like
stuff.
that, and you know.
Do they do that in the show?
They do it in the opening credit sequence, which is also beautifully artfully put together. It's like almost Monty Python style, pop-up book style, you know, art. and they do the lightning and the lightning bolt and everything. But the thing I was thinking of is the farting.
Yeah, there's a lot of it.
Was Benjamin Franklin known for farting?
If you're a fan of history, it's a fun fact that every hardcore history nut knows about Ben Franklin.
Fun flatulence fact.
But it's never addressed
Franklin.
anywhere that I've ever seen except like, here's a fun fact about Ben Franklin. But they put it in the show, and they even had dialogue about it, and it felt kind of like a weird fan service thing. But we're talking about history. We're not Marvel.
Farted.
Maybe like fart jokes are universal, no matter what time of year, what time it was.
Yeah,
I feel like
it's an always thing.
Yeah, you think cavemen like fart jokes?
This
Evergreen.
isn't because listen, that is something that is a thing you can think back to your caveman ancestors, and you can feel that thread tugging, all the way back in your soul.
Absolutely,
the laughing at your friend that just farted.
Yes, that's true.
Like, for real, it's profound because I believe it to be one of the only reactions.
That's a
emotional reaction we share.
Like a red flag if somebody doesn't laugh at fart jokes.
Yeah, get out of here.
Yeah,
you aren't cool.
Yeah.
Now I can get it if you get tired of them. Like if you're sitting in one long fart.
Yes, like my dog.
Yeah, like you're like, this was funny for a while, and I gotta leave now.
Oh, like the people in the courthouse with Donald Trump right now?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Is this like some meme that somebody came up with, or is it coming from a credible source and he was literally farting?
It seems like credible sources that he's falling asleep and farting so much.
That is almost too relatable,
that it's
though.
so gross that his lawyers are even
It's too human.
Not that part. Like,
okay.
I'll fall asleep and fart, but it's not going to be so gross that people are going to be unable to be around
That's
me.
what I've been hearing. Like, people are saying
on
that.
legitimate news shows, they've talked about it. It's weird. It's a little weird.
It is.
It's weird that they covered it. It's not weird that an old man who is under...
They've talked for years that there's been a smell around him, and I always thought, come on, guys.
I've heard that.
The rumors are that he's been wearing diapers since The Apprentice.
Can we just not
I've
go
heard
that
since
low?
Home Alone too.
I'm okay with low, but this is too low. But now I'm thinking this is fucking funny, but it's weird.
It's odd. It's odd that the way they're covering it as if that is an okay thing to cover about another
For
human
me,
being.
I think it is okay when he portrays himself as this paragon of health and when he's making fun of other people.
That it's evidence to the contrary.
Yes. And he's making fun of other people.
That's a good argument.
For being like old and unfit for office.
All right, Andy, you've convinced me.
And it's also okay to make fun of awful people.
Yeah.
Well, there's that, but I was thinking the
older
integrity
they
of
get,
the news more so.
it's
Is where
the
I
I
was
think the
coming
less
from.
you're able to control that shit. But I've never heard that Joe Biden smells bad.
Right. And if I could see that they're like, okay, a bad smell could be an indication of poor health, and that is that's newsworthy.
I guess.
The newsworthiness of it. That's what I was trying to say.
It goes along with the thing where he says, I'm only 215 pounds.
Yeah.
I'm 6'4", stuff like that.
6'5".
Yeah.
Yeah, I like how you started to get an accent.
I was going to say 5, but like
I thought
4
you were
came
gonna
up for something.
I thought you were going to turn him
for
into
some
a
reason.
Southern belle.
But when he portrays himself to be so fit and when he's clearly shitting his pants.
Yeah. Maybe he's so healthy that he smells bad.
Too much. Slow down on all the spinach, man.
Oh,
'Cause
the
that's what it is.
vegetarians and vegans that worked in the old studio we had would fart up a bunch. And if this gets back to you, I still love you.
Can you imagine his farts? He eats nothing but McDonald's and fast food. And
it seems like he eats a lot of KFC and McDonald's.
So it's not going to be a pleasant smell.
No, I can vouch for that as someone who also eats too much KFC and McDonald's. They are literally, if there are two restaurants of convenience that are
White Castle is going to give the worst.
White Castle smells just the
Gonna
same.
be the bad.
Smells
It's gonna be
good.
the bad one. We're going to change the subject though, because I
Okay.
think after a certain point we should probably move on from farts and Donald Trump's farts in particular.
I agree.
What a piece of shit.
Yeah, hate him. So speaking of, let's do the opposite. Angels on this planet.
Okay.
The weirdest thing has happened to me and Freddy lately, Andy, and I need to tell you this. It's happened twice since Friday. It is Monday, April 22nd. So on Friday, we go to my mom's and we're heading back home, and I want like a little sweet treat on the way home, and I'm like, let's find somewhere with a fucking icy. And we pull out the exit, and we stop at that little speedway over there by West Fork.
And they have Slurpees.
They got Slurpee. So we get our little Slurpees, and we're just, having fun. And we get up to the little cashier, and she's like, "Is that all?" And we're like, "Yeah." And she goes, "You have a good night."
They didn't charge us.
She didn't give us, she was like, "See ya."
So sweet.
So sweet. All right.
She's probably glad that we were the only people that didn't spit at, throw something at her, because this is a bulletproof glass situation. I want you to tell you,
it's
you
not
should
a bad
know where
neighborhood.
we're at.
I don't know, Freddy.
I'm just telling you, the situation was I would have felt like a trapped animal working back there, and to have anyone come up and be somewhat nice to me might have made a difference. Or here's what I think: it was easier to just let us walk out.
Yeah, she was in the middle like sweet,
and she was sweet.
Both things can be true.
Both things can be true.
She was super sweet about it.
So then comes Sunday. Freddie and I are like, "Hey, let's go to Cracker Barrel."
Yeah,
like you do.
For old time's sake.
We wanted to go look at a chair. I got a chair. Oh, I got a new chair, listeners. Oh, my chair.
I pointed to it like that helped anybody.
Like any of you know what we're talking about. Anyway, so we go to Cracker Barrel, and they got this little deal where if you eat there, you get a little $5 meal to take home. And it's not fully cooked, so you can warm it up when you get home. Whatever. Doesn't matter. What a good deal. And we were like, I'm probably going to be lazy later, so let's get a couple of these.
Yeah.
We order them from the waitress. She comes back, and she's like, I put a little extra one in there for you for free. Don't tell anybody.
We got the old wink and the wink and thunder gun or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, we're about to throw these out. So
Shoot 'em or gat 'em?
Yeah.
I just threw an extra one in there. Eat it tonight.
True.
I wrestled this away from a dog. And it's for you or the garbage.
It's like cook it extra long. Just in case. Wink, wink. But that's very sweet.
Is it our faces? Well, Freddy did when she came up to the table initially, she's like, "Hi, how are you?" Freddy's like, "We're good, how are you?" And she's like, "You're the first person that's asked me that today."
Really? I thought that was, maybe we're just too nice because I always
Midwest motherfucker. I thought we all did that.
Yeah.
And nobody's asked her that the whole day.
Common courtesy, right?
Isn't
Isn't
there
that common
around-
courtesy?
gosh.
It was afternoon.
No, it's just like almost an automatic response for me when people waitress says, "How you doing?" It's like, "Good, how are you?"
I even do it in the fucking drive-thru, and I know it's just what they have to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And really, all they should say is, "May I take your order?" Why do you have to say,
Yeah.
"How are you today?" Because we do not need to have this conversation.
Yeah,
I don't
the
care.
drive-thru is more awkward because you're talking to a box.
God.
It's like I don't even concern myself that nice. I just do it because it's ingrained in me.
Right.
It's not like I care, but I'm. And you're just going to tell me fine, which is probably very much not true, because I never mean it.
And sometimes they tell you too much.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh God. Well, that's true.
Maybe the universe is saying you guys have had a rough couple months,
I think
and they're
that's
trying to
it.
pay it back
It
in a way.
felt like a little
Balance.
nice thing.
They're like, now we're even. 2 free ices
know.
and a $5 meal.
I know.
The universe is a cheapskate.
Well, so am I. We'll get along famously.
What meals did you get to take home?
So we got a
like,
meatloaf,
like turkey and stuff, or
No, meatloaf.
fried chicken thing.
Yeah, fried chicken. The other one's a garlic chicken thing.
well, that's a good deal actually.
Yeah.
$5.
$5.
Little
not
mac
an
and
ad.
cheese with it, or mashed
Yeah.
potatoes, or whatever. Shit.
I mean,
I should just go there and just get a bunch of take-home meals.
it's
You got to
You have to buy
buy.
one.
you have to
Yeah.
dine in to get them.
Andy, I have leftover Cracker Barrel chicken and dumplings in the fridge. I'm so excited.
I know. I'm having whatever the fuck the other thing is,
Yeah.
which also looks edible.
Is
as
that
can
the
be.
free one she gave you?
Yeah.
I'm having the free one tonight,
You
guys.
don't, at this point, you don't know what it is.
I don't know what.
She'd be playing a joke on you.
Yeah, she could have been playing a joke.
I don't want to start feeling entitled to free things here and there.
It's
But
yellow
now I'm
modeling
like,
clay.
what's the next one?
Right?
Just kidding.
It's
But
just gonna be a note
I
that
need a
says,
shed.
Gotcha.
We have this store. I don't know if this is a national chain or not. Bargains and Buyouts. It's where we got Amy's chair. She
It's
was
just,
talking
they
about.
like pick up extra or used like furniture
The thing
on
is,
the black market.
It's more the hilarious business model, the thrown together business that it is.
So here's the thing. My face is so kind. I get free shit. Then we go to Bargains and Buyouts because I know they might have like a funky chair. I don't want just a regular chair. I want something interesting.
Plus,
No,
they're cheap.
mind you, it's all brown, but like I like it. Anyway, plus it can be really cheap. I got this chair for $200. We go in there. This dude will not stop following us around like we're going to run off with a fucking bed frame. I don't understand.
He was just trying to be super helpful.
It was too much.
And do you remind you a little bit like Les Nessman from WKRP?
Yes. Nice guy. Super nice guy,
We
but
got
it's
a
like...
Cool guy.
The only ones there?
There was one other couple we saw at one point that Amy was like, they're here for art project pieces.
I clocked them as super fancy artists, and they're looking for something interesting, either for a shoot, because they work in marketing.
She had a whole story for them.
They're probably both creatives at an agency, probably in town. I would highly
They looked put together.
put money on that shit.
They were getting stuff to stage.
I
stuff
think
like
so,
that.
yeah. For something, or for their own like kicky little loft that they're putting together. Do they call things kicky?
I don't know.
These kinds of people?
They get together for wine and cheese parties
Yeah.
with friends
Yeah.
who are more associates
Yes.
who know nothing of their true emotions.
That.
Anyway.
Anyway,
But yeah,
bought a chair.
I totally forgot what I was going to say about
I don't
bargains
know.
and buyouts.
They did have a red velvet
yeah.
chair. Oh man, it was so
They just have a weird way of pricing stuff.
Well, you can haggle, right?
Yes, you're allowed
That's
to
the thing.
haggle, but they also list
I don't
three
do-
prices on everything.
I don't do good at that.
And it's funny because someone will say firm. Have you bought stuff from them before?
Yeah,
Andy?
we furnished the studio.
Oh, back in the
Well,
day.
yeah, you and I went together.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
This is a different
That's
owner.
right. That's right.
You got a potpourri of chairs.
We did.
Yeah.
And
So many weird chairs.
When we had the headsets.
Yeah.
Back
We
in the
wore
day.
headsets like
we
the-
were
yeah.
all in our separate chairs. And
Everybody
Yeah.
got like a little chair.
It's
It was like a
kinda
chair
cozy.
circle, and we had our headset microphones.
It was very.
I prefer this.
This is better.
It was very coffee shop vibes.
It was,
was.
kind of cringe now.
It was
that
a
I think
little
about it.
too relaxed.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
A little too relaxed.
Yeah. Anyway, I bought a chair. It's for reading.
Yeah. It's to help her sanity levels.
That's it, and you can't do anything else in it.
Yeah. You can only help your sanity levels in it.
If you try eating it, the chair just ejects you.
Yeah, it's got one of those the big old eject buttons and a big old spring.
It's a pretty chair.
We're talking
I
about
wish
this
we could show
chair
it to
as
you.
if this. I'll put it on my Instagram.
There you go.
Amy NOTLP.
It's a cozy spot next to the window.
I know, right?
I kind of want to sit in it now.
All right, let's stop talking about the chair.
Okay.
We're here to talk about
It's probably so fascinating for the listeners.
I know.
Assault on Precinct 13. Have you ever just got yourself something? You're like, I fucking love this thing. I got a good deal on it. It's awesome. I never thought I could have something so nice.
Yeah.
You got to value yourself more, Amy.
I know.
Amy has a very low. Yeah, like she is a spendthrift.
I know.
It's like, I'm not worthy of a chair.
She got a chair, but this is like a 10-year
I
achievement.
know.
This is like, it's 10 years in the making of building up to the courage to buy a chair for herself.
It's my chair.
Like she's.
I catch you in it.
Yeah,
We got problems.
that's right.
Yes, everybody has to ask for permission.
It's awesome.
It's my chair.
It looks like it came right out of Jim Rockford's office.
That was kind of what sold me.
Now you need like some sort of woven 70s era style quilt or blanket to put over it.
Okay.
Or a fancier lamp.
Way fancier.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, the Roseanne crocheted blanket. Anyway,
Fuck her too.
fuck her too. Like
We'll
seriously.
call it the Connors blanket now.
We'll call it the Connor
Freedom fries.
Anyway, back to this show and not about the chair or farts.
Yeah.
Patreon.com/NOTLP. You can find Origins over there where I go back 12 years and dig in the archives and give you a new intro to an old show.
Yeah.
Then you got Topicana, which also appears on the main feed, but you get a week early at Patreon. And that's where we just ask each other, hey, what you want to talk about?
Thought-provoking questions,
Yes.
I think.
Sort of. Andy asked our Nightmare Blunt rotation on this most recent episode.
I had so much fun.
And that
about
really, that sparked the imagination.
Did.
Pun intended.
You're silly. I like silly.
So yeah, Andy,
And Amy had some just general pop culture questions. We kind of
yeah, we talked about the Torture Poets Department.
Yeah. I still
if-
haven't listened to it.
Any of us have anything really to say about it as people that we are. Yeah. So anyway, those bonus things are over at the Patreon along with merch.
You're old people.
We old people. We're old.
It is. It would be funny. I just thought it would be like if you went back to 1986 and your parents were talking about Run DMC's latest album with each other.
I know.
Yeah. That's us.
Oh, boy.
Grandparents even. Talking about Run DMC's new album. Your grandparents, 1986.
God. All right.
That's about what we're doing right now.
You guys ready to move on?
Yep.
All right. Fantastic.
Turn out lights, it's the main attraction.
For some reason, my grapes have completely dried down to these things.
All right, everybody. Assault on Precinct 13.
Has Kim Richards been in other movies besides this, or is this her only credit?
Oh, no. She was in Escape from Witch Mountain. She did a lot of Disney stuff when she was a kid.
Was it Watcher
younger.
in the Woods? Was that another one she did?
I don't remember.
Oh, okay.
But she was like one of those.
I get her and her sister mixed up.
Yeah,
And
Kyle was in Halloween.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Kim is a little more squirrely.
She has a very
What does that mean?
she had a very deep voice for a child.
Like she'd been smoking already. And also she looked like the bad seed.
might have
Yeah, is that the pigtails and the blunt bangs?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
was that on purpose? You think that they dressed? It had to be. I mean, you have a costume and wardrobe department. Nothing's an accident in a movie like this.
Well, before we go on, I've asked this of the other housewives. How is she as a housewife and a person?
I like her. She's had a lot of addiction issues. She's messy as hell, but she's super sweet and she cares about her kids, and she's
a real
she's doing her
person.
best. She went through some shit live on camera for people, and
Is
Like
she
she's-
an instigator in a lot of situations?
no.
Good. I don't like instigators.
I mean, she's not
Andy looked at me when he said
a
that.
shrinking violet, but
Bitch.
she's not a shit stirrer.
Is she better or worse than her sister on the show?
Worse, she didn't need to be there. Her mental health isn't
Okay.
in a place where she should have been doing that.
She seems fragile.
I think it's caused issues between her and her sisters.
Yeah.
Anyway.
She seems so much better since she left the show. I don't watch a lot of it, but I could tell you that is not a healthy environment for anyone.
But God bless them.
I know they bring you a lot of joy, and they get paid pretty handsomely, from what I know.
Good.
earn
Assault, Precinct 13. John Carpenter movie I had never seen before.
Yeah, I've never seen this either. Is this his first movie, or has he done stuff before?
I can't remember if he did the Elvis. He did a made-for-TV Elvis movie with Kurt Russell playing Elvis.
Of all people.
Yeah, it's not bad. I think that might have come before this, but I'm not sure.
Because
This is his first big impression, movie.
Yeah, but I can tell is very early in his career just because
Dark Star too. I forgot.
Okay.
I think he did Dark Star before this.
just from the direction standpoint, it's very green still in certain respects.
Yeah, I think in that
Dark Star came 2 years before.
Dark Star was 2 before.
Yeah.
Okay, and then does it mention Elvis?
I can see the
That's
his signatures and stuff, but
Yeah.
he got obviously he got his later movies are much more well directed.
This doesn't seem like it's.
I loved this.
I did too.
I thought
think it's a
you can
great
see
movie.
all the shit that he came out of the box with. I feel like that's crazy because this would have been his second movie.
Yeah,
Well, he did shorts before that. He came out of the box with these really cool ideas and the music and everything.
Well, just think about you started Dark Star and couldn't get into it.
I didn't like it.
Same guy made this.
I know.
And you're like night and day. And that's not uncommon. A lot of people don't like Dark Star because it's kind of really particular.
Yeah.
But this movie, I think, appeals to almost everybody. Assault on Precinct 13, I mean.
I didn't it was 76, right? This movie.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the synth was very innovative for this time period.
Yeah, he was an early user.
I love his early adopter.
That's maybe what I meant.
I love his who he is was
On
already
display.
there. And we just on a recent Origins, we were talking about a movie back in the past, and we were criticizing it because it had the same writer, director, editor, produce, like all those things, and the movie is not good, and you're like, if you needed somebody to help you with that, but like John Carpenter can do it on his second like full-length movie.
You know how he does it too, though,
and it's an hour and a half long.
It's the leadership thing. It's not even so much.
Yeah.
I think over the years of watching, going to panels with Andy, and interviewing people, whatever, you start the things that like that old episode that you're talking about in Origins, and we're talking about a Friends film where he did everything by himself, and you're like, that's. I think we simplified that idea by discouraging creators to do that. But I think
if you're a genius, go ahead.
It's if you're a genius, but also you have to like.
But you can't say you are.
You have to be a people person, I think, too, because I think John Carpenter kind of like built a group.
And also, like, I feel his strengths, for me at least, are his characters more than anything.
Super on display here.
Than like anything else, because he gets people, and because all his movies, especially including this one, like the characters are so distinct and memorable,
visually and performances too.
So, and he also has a vision.
Yes,
very efficient.
And he sticks to, and he knows he just knows what he's doing. Some people just know what they're doing.
He also gives you something that I really love, is he gives you the bare minimum of like film exposure, where everything looks like it's outlined in light. That shit gives me fucking chills every time I see somebody do it. I love that look. I know you can't do it all the time, because then everything would look the same.
Another thing I think helps him is like none of his movies are really overly complicated.
Yeah.
Nope.
Like this is all his movies are really simple in terms of story and stuff like that. And this is the most basic story you can think of, really.
Yeah. It's all about action.
It's a bottle episode.
Yeah.
It's a siege. It's basically the cops fuck up some gang members, and the gang members
They murdered them.
I meant that.
Yeah.
That's what I meant by fuck them up, but I should have.
They fucked them up for good.
For good and forever.
Yeah.
It's a case where like I'm on nobody's side.
Dirty cop. Right.
Because you don't know what led to it.
Because they're there to it was all a gun buy, like a weapons situation.
It was
Granted,
they're
they're gang members and they're up to no good, but they didn't necessarily need to be gunned down.
Right. And it felt like they were in a trench too. Didn't it feel like they were shooting it and fish in a barrel?
Well, they
were.
They were like shooting from the rooftops. And
right.
everything.
So that's like it's this thing of like, you've already beaten them and now you're killing them is how it felt in the movie to me.
And then you hear like, as the movie progresses, like some radio in the background or television where they're talking about the shooting,
the multicultural gang.
The unusual interracial
that little touch.
Yeah.
It was the unusual interracial mixture.
They pointed it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of the gang members that were killed.
And I like the idea of all these gangs coming together.
They came together
for one purpose.
Very warriors.
They're like, can you get us our most stereotypical one of us?
I love movie gangs.
Yeah, me too.
These dudes
They're
get
scary,
together
though.
for their fucking blood ritual, not ritual, oath. I guess.
Is that what it is?
They never fucking say a word.
They in the beginning, it almost feels like he's gonna go a supernatural route at one point with this. And there is a moment when somebody gets like shot, right? And they keep kind of coming at them.
I don't remember that.
With one of the gang members. Oh, okay. Well, it doesn't really matter. But
I think maybe because the gangs felt like zombies basically.
They were straight up ripped.
Yeah.
This was all Night of the Living Dead, and it took me
so
far too long to realize that.
So maybe you saw that as supernatural because the way they just swarmed.
The way they swarmed was very much like
quiet.
zombies,
and how quiet they were.
But there's a moment. I remember a moment where I think one of them got shot.
Maybe they were
like a midsection shot and kept coming at him, and it felt like intentional kind of hinting.
Yeah,
at
maybe it's like a nod to them being like these
crazed.
Yeah.
Maybe, or on drugs.
Undead or something.
Well, I think they're supposed to be more like the Manson family, like via like Romero zombie style,
Yeah. Yeah, so the gangs are mad. And like I said, they've brought together the 4 stereotypes of the gangs. And the guy that looks sort of like Timothy McVeigh.
Blondie?
Blondie.
This is the guy that shot the ice cream man and
Yeah, he's
Kyle Richards.
He's the one who we need to double back to
Kim
the
Richards.
incident.
Kim Richards.
With
Sorry.
Kim Richards and the ice cream cone.
All right, so the movie opens with they murdered the gang members. Then you see the gang members doing their very like, man, we're super masculine and we're serious about our blood ritual. But I'll tell you, that silly nonsense that like little boy, like what a little boy thinks of being a man
Yeah,
is
it's like blood brother, like a blood oath.
Yeah.
and it's a kind of a childish thing
Yeah.
too. But like all this like masculine posturing in this movie, it's silly, but it's not as silly as these cheap ass like Richard Grieco 1980s, 90s movies. You know what I'm talking about? Like somehow there's more sincerity and like
When they do it in this, it
credibility.
feels real.
Yeah.
Somehow, even though it's this
And
absurd
it's over
scenario.
the fucking top too.
Yeah. It should feel stupid. And then for a split second, it feels real stupid and you're kind of giggling at it. But then it feels scary.
So you
At
have
least that was my experience.
the blood oath. Now cut to Bishop. He was a chip, but now he's a cop.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean by that? He was highway patrol, but now it's his first night as just a cop in LA. And they assign him to this place that's closing down. Anyway.
So last night, were they even open for this night? Were they'd already closed, right?
They're in the process of it.
Or
They
in the
still
process.
have like phone lines and electricity.
It's eerie.
Yeah, because it's like it's in a really bad neighborhood apparently. It's off a like road where there's no houses or anything.
Yeah. Isolated.
It's an isolated station. Meanwhile, Charles Cyphers, Freddy farted in front of him.
Yep. You've heard the story. We
A
all know
million
it.
times, listener. If you haven't heard it, it'll come up again. I'm
We
sure.
both laughed until we had tears in our eyes
From the fart smell.
from the smell.
Yeah, they got gassed. And then he's transporting the super scary Napoleon Wilson.
Yeah, who you never find out what he did.
Wikipedia says he was a death row inmate.
Yeah.
Well, they had like a line where like him killing somebody. So it's
Yeah.
They feel a lot like the inmates from Cool Hand Luke
Yeah.
or something. The personalities.
There's three of them.
I feel like this was John Carpenter kind of going through all of his favorite movies and kind of borrowing
Yeah.
a little from each one.
Yeah. But it's not annoying like it is in other movies. How
Right.
does he do that?
Because he also has his own look. So I think his pastiche, he can take pastiche of everybody else's work, and he knows he wants the criminal who feels like he's from the Defiant Ones or like a 50s crime movie or a prison movie. He wants that guy, but he wants to shoot him the way he shoots his movies, which is super high contrast, dark, simple, long shot, lots of long shots and lonely vibes. Like, but he has that same guy who feels like he came off the TV show The Fugitive or something.
Yeah.
You know, it's still that same kind of performance too, but it's in John Carpenter's like frame. You know, that's the way I feel about his movies.
The sick guy, that's one of the prisoners being moved along with Wells and Napoleon. Did you feel like he was a MacGuffin?
I thought
because
that
you're
wa-
watching him.
Yeah.
because I thought that was going to be like a setup for something.
Yeah, me too.
He was faking
Yeah.
being sick and like gotcha.
To
You
get
know
them
why
to
that
stop
you
or
guys,
something.
we all felt that because they call it's the sick inmate
Yeah,
gag. I think he might have done
I'm
it on
sure,
purpose.
yeah. To
yeah,
get your
definitely.
little
It
sleight of
worked.
hand.
It works two ways for you as a storyteller. You got the sick prisoner gag, which everybody expects to turn out where they take over the bus. But the truth of it is, it works the second way of getting them to have to stop for
But
quarantine.
It's really good about building tension.
yeah.
All these like misdirections and stuff.
Yes.
Because the movie doesn't start. It's a slow burn.
Yeah.
movie.
Well, you get the whistling when
Yeah.
when what's his name again? The cop, the new guy?
Bishop.
Bishop is whistling and walking to his first day of work, and the whole time you know something bad's
Yeah,
going down.
You can, and like I like
Yeah.
the timestamps all the time
yeah, me
because
too.
it's like shows you how much things can happen in a short amount of time.
Did you watch 24 when it was on?
Yeah,
That it 24. I think I don't know if this. I doubt this is the first movie that did that, but I think they did this most
Yeah.
effectively.
yeah.
And 24 did it really
I love
well,
movies
too.
that take place in a short amount of time.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Because it's like it was just an ordinary day for all intents and purposes, but it was like a perfect storm of everything coming together for this one assault.
Didn't it feel supernatural?
Yeah,
Did we ever learn their precise motive?
No, well, no,
As a
like
gang?
so. Let's keep going a little bit. So they have to quarantine in the closest precinct is precinct 13. So now you got the jail, the inmates and the guard coming to the station at the same time. The gang members are the leaders of the gang are driving up and down this road freaking out an ice cream man. Does anybody know why? I didn't really get that.
I thought it was going to be the ice cream man thing was going to be a bigger thing because the ice cream man kept reaching for his gun.
Like he knew that those guys were up to no good, but I don't know what they were up to.
They were casing the precinct, I think, and that's why the dad was so close.
Were they near it?
I think that's how the dad I think what those guys were doing. They were like the leaders, and they were casing the precinct for the timing.
One little bugaboo to me on that because it wasn't super clear.
I didn't understand what the gangs were up to in the first place.
I didn't at that time
because I don't think they were really necessarily casing the joint. I think it was just a weird things coming
He's like,
together.
real quick, I'm going to kill.
It was just to show you they were really bad guys, you think?
Maybe they were pissed off because what happened with their game.
You mean for the overall motivation of attacking the precinct was probably in retaliation for the ambush.
I don't think they even meant to attack the precinct at first.
You don't think they did?
They only attacked because the guy ran there.
Because Timothy McVeigh ran there.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah. But I think
not Timothy McVeigh, the dad who killed Timothy McVeigh.
I think they were just out to cause mayhem because they were like...
And they just came at the station like crazy.
Yeah.
That they were going to fuck up a cop no matter what. Yeah. And I think maybe that's it. Looking for somebody to kill.
Cause chaos
to get a cop to come over.
Chaos in the city or something. Yeah. And just cause like mayhem.
Maybe it's just a mayhem reason.
Right?
And they just happen to...
They're scarier because they don't know their motives. Yeah.
Then little Kim Richards is like, hey, I ordered a twist. And then she gets murdered.
Because first she demands an ice cream cone after closing. Then the guy's nice enough to give her one. And then she's like, wait a minute. Hey, punk. Whoa. This was supposed to be a swirl.
She didn't do any of these things. She's a little girl, so.
Ice cream man made a mistake by going to that bad area in the first place.
But he also has to sell drugs to live. And that's where he picks up all the drugs.
You think that's what he was doing too?
He was picking up drugs to go sell in all of our other neighborhoods around here.
I'm just too naive. I just saw him as a humble ice cream man.
I'm just joking, kind of.
That just made a bad decision.
The truth of it is, like a lot of ice cream men, especially in the past, have supplemented the meager income they make selling ice cream.
Well, sure,
yeah,
whatever
drugs.
you gotta do. I guess I should have known when they killed that little girl right in front of your face. So like, boom. I should have known nobody was safe. But every time some like big character would get shot and killed, I'd be like, what? Oh,
yeah, it was sudden, startling, especially her.
Yeah.
Plus, it was kind of like sudden and brutal.
And she was 99% adorable.
Mm-hmm.
Except the 1% was when she demanded a different
that squirreliness.
Not the squirreliness. It's just the hey, wait a minute. Hey, mister, this ain't what I paid for.
She literally got like shot point blank in the chest, and you see a big blood splash.
Yeah, it's dramatic.
Like, for a kid, like, damn.
Yeah. What's kind of like, again, is you think he did that, Amy? You said he admitted to borrowing a lot from Night of the Living Dead. There was the little girl in the basement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was the zombie.
I wonder if he was like, well, let's.
But the dad becomes a zombie basically because he hunts down, kills Timothy McVeigh. That's what I'm calling him.
He doesn't really
sort of
become
like
a zombie.
Him. And
that's his first instinct. Is because the
fucking goes after him.
Ice cream man says like, "There's a gun underneath the steering wheel,"
and then like, dies immediately.
The dad doesn't like think to call the cops or anything, or
gets in the car,
check on his daughter.
Goes.
I think there's an understanding, like the dad knows the neighborhood is bad enough the cops don't come there.
Oh, okay.
I think that's kind of what they've insinuated with the precinct shutting down.
Very nihilistic way of like movie in a way.
Well, have you seen Escape from L.A. almost feels like a sequel to this movie.
Listen, I don't know anything about gangs, gang activity, what it's like to live in any of these places. I don't know a fucing thing, but this feels like a little bit of fear-mongering about what the gangs truly are.
It's those democratic cities, right?
No, I'm thinking they're telling you these people are going to just overrun us and kill us with no mercy.
I find that really unlikely considering how liberal John Carpenter is. That
I
you
know,
would
but it hit me a little bit.
Yeah, it's just a very movie.
But I like
I think it's a parody.
I loved this movie. Don't get me wrong. I'm not mad at it.
Well, I didn't take anything in this movie has any more message besides because it's so over the top.
I mean,
in a
they
way.
were
tongue in cheek.
They're redeeming a murderer.
So you
in
can't
Napoleon.
you can't really like look at it that way as serious or anything.
It feels kind of like satire, like a
Well, I will do what I
Verhoeven
want.
level, because everything in it is like it is absurd. Like the level of concern or not concern. It's like kind of like overblown, but that's what makes it work. Makes it so tense.
So Dad kills Timothy McVeigh. Poor man's Timothy McVeigh is what I said. It's not nice. They played him. They chased him. So the gang chased the dad from the park to the station, and it was so cool. I just wrote down here. It was spooky and awesome. You guys remember it?
It's because
I don't.
It's the John Carpenter intensity you get in the original Halloween. It's that level, but it feels even more real because these are people pursuing somebody with guns, and it's man on man, human on human crime, and not boogeyman on human crime.
Great
So
shots of
really
the sunset happening at that time.
I wonder how long they were chasing.
I know.
His run was interesting.
It was
from daytime to like night.
It was full daylight
Yeah.
when he starts to chase, and then by the time it catches up, it's like pitch black.
I love that though. The idea that this whole area is so fucking blighted that a man can run and run and run and run and not find any help until he is way deep in this area, you know, still being pursued by these insane like warrior level post-apocalyptic punks with weapons.
Freddie pointed out that Nancy Loomis is playing an adult with a job here, and 2 years later, she's going to be a teenager.
Yeah, she's she's also a jaded adult who has worked long enough to be
hate
jaded about the job she has.
Yeah,
and she's going to be like a sophomore.
That made me sad.
Yeah,
when she died.
I was like wondering, like, is it a testament to how young she looks, or is it a testament to how old teenagers looked in that era?
A little both.
All of the above.
She's a beautiful woman.
Yeah,
Nancy Loomis. I think she's gorgeous.
But it just was funny to point that out.
But she played
Annie.
Yeah. What?
It was Annie from Halloween. She got stuck in the window, right?
She was in The Fog too.
Yeah,
and she plays a kind of like a was it dour? Would that be the word? Kind of characters a lot where she's
a little bratty.
Yeah, fun. Kind of like a lot of the same roles that April Ludgate, what's her name, would do
Aubrey
now.
Plaza.
Aubrey Plaza. She kind of reminds me of a proto Aubrey Plaza. Not in this necessarily, but in most everything else.
But I was on her side. It's like
she wasn't even supposed to be there today.
In terms of that guy, the dad, bringing all this chaos to them. It's like,
but I mean, you know, they are police officers.
Total chaos. You're right.
He got a lot of people killed.
He led all the gang members there.
Yeah, but
I know I'm not supposed to like
what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to go to the police for help, right?
I'm not trying to say like any of it was justified. But
right.
I'm not saying like the gang members are in the right at all, but you got to balance one life versus a whole lot of other people.
I looked up the guy who played Napoleon. Blanking on his name right now. His last acting job was an episode of Alf. And I think that's a great legacy.
Did he die?
Mm-hmm.
During the episode of Alf?
Yeah.
Did Alf eat him?
Yep.
Was he a cat?
Maybe.
It's a big cat.
Yeah.
So basically now everybody's stuck in the station and oh shit. And now it's just like shots are flying, but they've got silencers. So dumb fuck cops that are driving around being told there's firecrackers or gunshots going off can't figure out where it is because they're lazy.
I have a question about Napoleon. Napoleon is the head. He's the kind of the denim prisoner guy, leader of the prisoners. He wasn't in Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead. He wasn't in Day of the Dead, was he?
I didn't memorize his IMDb page.
I thought maybe you had it in front of you because we were looking down.
No, these are my notes that I took.
Remember we kept saying he reminded us of somebody.
I said Nathan Fielder and Nathan Fillion had a baby.
Yeah.
What do you think, Andy?
He has like a very bland face, where he looks like a lot of people.
Yeah, he reminds me. No, I was just thinking about it. He reminds me of the dude who was like the leader of the soldiers in Day of the Dead in the underground, who the choke on him.
Oh,
guy.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, does he
look
remind
like
you
him?
of him? Yeah, I don't think. I'm not sure it's the same guy.
He would have been like.
We're so
older.
well researched here.
That's not why people are here.
We're just having fun.
I wrote down here that this is a lean movie. It's quiet. It's efficient. The score. It's all like, button the fuck up.
I don't think he had much money.
Well, he killed it.
Yeah, he made a pretty amazing.
I don't think you really need much money for a movie like this either.
You need a lot of talent.
Yeah,
lot of talent. Not just like talented stunt people. Whoever coordinated the cinematography. Did he do it himself, or was it Dean Kundi? Or
I think it was him, but fuck if I know. I don't know.
That's okay.
I'm probably wrong.
The way the cameras are used in this one is pretty great. In fact, I like it better than Halloween. I think cinematography wise.
There's just some like major like lifts of Night of the Living Dead.
Yeah.
The basement talk. Like, should we? But if we go down there, we can't get. We're stuck down there. But if then we're more safe because we. You know what I mean? It's like the same fucking thing. They're crawling through the windows. They're coming through the windows.
And one person can get out of the building.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To get to the car. Yeah. It's all
there.
It's all there. But it's like
it works.
It delighted me.
It's not the last time someone made a really good movie where they ripped off Night of the Living Dead and changed genre either. I've seen other stuff that's similar to this that it's worth exploring over and over again. Siege movies are awesome.
The blood bomb, like the blood, like
what the
marking on the front of the stoop.
The bowl of blood.
Yeah. And the what the fuck was on the flag that he like laid down, but then all wrinkled
they never
up.
said.
I thought that was gonna be a bigger thing. But
Yeah.
it was
like they presented these things to the station, and they're like, "Hell, here come."
I think they were going for full Manson family vibes with the gang at this point. I think. I don't know. Did he say in any of your reading?
Well, what year was the Manson family?
69, I think.
Yeah.
And I think they were still by this point. It's only been like 7 years or something. They've been still stewing on this whole idea of there being street gangs out there that will invade your home.
I thought Napoleon sort of gave me like a Henry Lee Lucas, maybe, but I don't know when Henry Lee Lucas was active. I don't even know if he would have been.
I think that was the 70s, wasn't it?
Yeah. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
You think?
I thought that was
talking
cool.
about inspired
This
by
message
the
that
idea.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know
Or the
anything.
look of him.
I don't know anything.
You don't know anything. What was it
I don't know
about him?
anything.
That
I
made you
hope
think
it's
of him?
not based on Henry Lee Lucas because
He's the hero.
Because Napoleon's sort of the hero, and I don't want to.
You don't want to feel complicated.
I don't want to feel complicated.
I doubt he's based on him. I think
know.
he's
just a guy.
He's an amalgam of every wrongfully convicted character from every jail.
I don't know. I think Napoleon
prison
did
movie.
something.
Yeah.
He probably robbed a bank and killed somebody.
You think so?
That's what I think.
I think he got double crossed and ended up in prison. I have a whole backstory I've cooked up for him since we watched this.
Because you felt complicated, so you had to.
Well, I remember I had seen this before as a kid on TV where they cut it way down, and I didn't remember anything. I don't even think I'd ever seen the setup, like all those elements of the gang even being like.
I liked how ordinary he was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he didn't come across as like Hannibal Lecter talking all crazy like.
Yeah, he wasn't mean to anybody. He didn't refuse to help. He was like, all right, I'll pitch in.
He just wanted a cigarette. That was his
wanted a
whole
cigarette.
That's his whole character arc.
He didn't act in anger at any point.
So that's why like it's almost I like how grounded he was as a character, even though it's still over the top.
He's just like Nick Cage's character in Con Air to me.
Nobody was really sabotaging anybody, which was nice. Like none of the characters were trying to like actively fuck it all up.
Yeah, you didn't have that guy that got bit by a zombie
And didn't want to tell anybody.
Or made a deal with the gang. To,
or they're like, I'm
trade
just going to
somebody.
run out of here and just, no, like it's all.
It's action, man.
I was like,
it's fast.
The dad pissed me off. All of a sudden, this is when you become catatonic.
Completely catatonic during the entire battle.
No, I love the first volley of gunfire that hits the precinct. That scene is intense, and
I like how like so simple it was. It was so unexpected.
Well, it's unexpected, but then they are using silencers, so it's kind of eerily quiet
kinda
for
like,
something
bing,
like this.
you know?
You just hear the glass
And you-
breaking.
you don't even know what it is at first.
Right. You don't know what it is. It keeps going, but the thing is, it goes all the way around from being like scary to being absurdly overlong to being like really scary again.
This is probably where I had a little bit of problem with the movie, with the big shootout part.
Yeah.
Where the gang members are just is a hail of gunfire, basically.
Yeah.
It's nonstop.
Yeah. And this is where I said like it might be like green filmmaking because the way it looked like it was like a shooting range.
Yeah.
The way things are popping up.
It's just things popped up.
Oh yeah, like somebody's back there and threw some
Yeah.
papers
and-
in the
and
air.
things
Yeah.
are just falling off the wall.
Yeah. I gotcha.
Kind of silly to me.
It's silly though, but it's truly how it looks when something is
Because
under
Freddy
fire
has
like that.
been in many a shootout.
No, but I've fired guns. Andy, you have too.
Yeah, I have-
At a
like,
stack
I know,
of
I get
papers?
it,
I
but-
fired them at bottles and
But
stuff.
just the way it was like
It was definitely
very
silly.
timed, like
Yeah.
pew. And
Well,
like,
yeah.
the papers fly up, pew.
Well,
and something
yeah.
like shatters and pew.
It's comical.
Yeah,
It
and
is
the
inherent.
clock
But
falls
what I'm
off.
saying is that's not the filmmaking. That's the fact that it is inherently a little comical. I think like you could have left it out as a filmmaker. You could have left those sillier things that happen when you fire a bunch of rounds at objects. He could have cut that out. It would have hurt it for me because it made it feel more real that those things were flying off in the air and that there's papers here and there's a cup of pens flying over here.
Freddy grew up on cartoons.
Yeah, I also grew up on cartoons
To me, it just felt at odds with everything else.
Yeah.
in a way.
because everything else is so chill.
Yeah.
It's so low key.
It's the most low key movie with blood, death,
Yeah.
bullets.
I think
Fear.
it needs that moment though.
It's a very low key, over the top movie, if you know what I
It
mean.
is.
Yeah.
It truly
It goes.
is.
It
I know
swings
what
from
you
one to
mean,
the
Vern.
other. Yeah. Well, that's the contrast. That's why he does it visually, but he does it with the story. Same shit.
The
every time.
Napoleon Lee noir, like, weird noir language
Yeah.
dialogue. I mean, she's
Yeah.
like, he says, "You're good." She goes, "Sometimes." Like
Oh,
Napoleon and Lee they're gonna
I
bone.
love
Did
this,
you know
this
they-
weird sexual tension?
But he's
they
on death
had.
row.
They did the blinds shot on
Yeah.
her eyes,
Yeah.
which is something from old noir movies where it's just the one bar of light over the eyes.
Her little sexy match flicking, the
Yeah.
light, the
Yeah.
cigarette he
Oh,
finally
dude.
gets.
That was
It's
the best
like-
scene in the movie, I think.
You know what that was? That was sex.
It was sex. It was come up and see me sometime.
Mm-hmm.
It was put your whistles together in lips.
Yeah.
Put your blows together in a whipple. No, that's not right either. Put your lips together and blow.
I loved her character. She's such a
She was
badass
great.
without
Yeah.
being in your face about it.
I know.
Yeah.
At
She's
first, I didn't
confident.
understand it, and then it slowly grew on me. Like, oh, she's like a dame.
She's a hardcore.
She's a femme
motherfucker.
fatale,
Yeah.
but like she's not gonna hurt anybody.
No, she's a good guy.
But she is gonna fall for the serial killer or whatever he is.
I think she sees
Yeah,
a
confidence
kindred
is sexy.
spirit.
Yeah.
I think they're
her.
the two toughest people in the room. Is kind of what
And
they're
also,
saying
like,
to each other.
when you face down death, like
Yeah.
you're gonna try to get some last
Yeah.
some
It
tail
juices
when
you up.
can, yeah.
Why not?
Mm-hmm.
Why not?
This could be our last night. Let's just go for it.
Just gonna bang it out here
On my bucket list, have sex with a serial killer. Check.
while under siege in a
Um,
police station.
What is potatoes? They're like, oh, we're gonna do potatoes to see who's gonna run and go through the manhole.
It's one
and the
potato, two
sewer.
potato, three potato, four.
I didn't. I don't know.
5 potato, 6 potato, 7
I
potato.
love that. That was probably my favorite scene in the movie.
They did potatoes.
It was humanizing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
it was
was
good.
cute. It was very like it reminded me of Roddy Piper and Keith David.
Well, that's
yeah.
Carpenter again. He knows that relationship. I said to Amy, I said, do you think that John Carpenter just always wanted a black best friend?
I just love how he portrays like male relationships in movies.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's nice.
They're not antagonistic or anything like that. It's like
they reach
just
understandings.
buddies, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
Well, also-
Bishop and Napoleon are basically like gonna go out and have a beer real quick before they put him back on death row.
Well, their relationship feels like they've known each other forever, like brothers, kind of. If you can do potatoes, which is like the most stupid, childish like way to resolve something, that means you've really probably spent a lot of time together at that point. And all he had to say to him was, "Want to do potatoes?" And you're like, they've clearly had to
But-
do potatoes for other reasons.
Wells, You know, he's the unlucky chump, and he does in fact get shot and killed. That made me sad. He was getting somewhere in that car, and then the dude comes up behind him in the back seat.
Well, he had that moment like, I'm just gonna run, leave everybody behind.
But
he did it. Like they
talked him out of
around.
it.
Yeah,
everybody came around to pitch in.
They pitched in. It was
except for Dad, Coma Dad. He'd been through enough. So they do this really cool thing at the end, like they make their last stand in the hallway of the basement, with this giant metal sign that will act as their shield, and they're just basically going to try to
acetylene, right?
Yeah, they're going to try to burn them out, but not die themselves.
That's the shit they use to put
love
arc
that
welding
whole
thing.
Scene.
Like that's hot.
Yeah. And I loved how he shot that scene where they have that big sign,
and he's above them a little bit with the camera,
and like you almost get the POV of the gang members pushing against the sign, and the cop and Napoleon are being pushed. Bishop are being pushed back, while like it looks like the hallway is like static, but you just see them being pushed back.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's really, I mean, like literally
incredible.
Like an awesome sight.
Yeah.
Maybe the best shot in the movie. The fact he says he can do it in 3 shots and then does it in 3 shots is pretty cool too. Because you think, he's like, I think I can get it in 3. You're like, no way is he going to get it in 3 because they're going to have another twist.
He fucking did it.
He did it.
This is like a pure zombie shot where you just bashing them
with anything.
And trying to keep them at bay and like hitting their hands, and you see the blood that they left where they got their hands smashed.
And that when the cops finally get down to the basement, because now they've finally figured it the fuck out, and they get down to the basement in that fog clearing scene, and then all you see is Bishop and Napoleon just standing there. Man, that was fucking cool.
It was cool.
And that had to be practical.
Everything they did. Yeah, we were talking about how
do you time that?
How it wouldn't have been cool if you saw it now. You would just presume it was done digitally, but because it's 76 and this movie has not received any kind of like special edition treatment, everything you're seeing is whatever they did in 76 with like machinery.
It was cool.
So Bishop and Napoleon, they shoot this tank, and it blows up and kills all the gang members. Like, this is a very Jaws moment for me.
Yep.
Yeah,
Then we got Jaws.
Yeah. It's funny because Jaws was, what, a couple years before this?
75, wasn't it?
Or I can never remember, even though it's my favorite
I think that was
movie.
75, and this was 76. So
that sounds right.
I like to
We'll
think,
presume and say yes.
God, you guys.
It came before this for sure.
Yeah.
I could talk about this movie all day. I really liked it.
And
Jaws was 75.
Yeah.
75.
No, so I think it might have been inspired.
You're probably right.
No, I see John Carpenter being his shit, and then I see all the cool shit he liked from other geniuses, and he put it in there, and then he like slapped his own little like flavoring on it.
Yeah.
And then Bob's Your Uncle.
This and The Fog, I think, are my favorites.
Flavor Town
of his stuff. Prince Darkness.
It's hard.
Prince Darkness is my favorite.
I'm gonna go basic and go. They live in The Thing.
They Live is so
This
good.
might be my second.
Damn, The Thing. Man, he is a killer director. When
I know.
It's like you don't. You start to list the shit he made in the 70s and early 80s. It is mind-boggling.
I'm boggled. I have been boggled.
That's some good shit.
And I love the what's the lady's name?
Lee.
She's just standing in front of that vent, just shooting people off one by one.
She looked amazing. Like his costume,
while
everything.
protecting the catatonic dad.
Yeah.
The albatross that just
This
brought
motherfucker.
Stoic. She was stoic, and it was just like the coolest. It was, the coolest fucking dame.
Yeah, she didn't have that moment where like
40s style.
Like, what do I do? And like, you know, like shooting off.
She's like, I got this.
Anything. Like every shot she had was like a bullseye.
It was a tiny little thing that they came through, and that was just freaky, man. I just didn't say enough good
Carpenter
things.
was like a big Howard Hawks fan, and like he did some movies that also were kind of action-y for their era. He's the one who did the original Thing, but he also did some stuff that's kind of crimey, and I think has this kind of attitude.
Cry me a river.
Yeah. Crime-ish.
And I love the end where Napoleon is gonna be hauled away, but
Bishop won't have
Bishop
it.
is like, no.
This is my brother.
Yeah. Well, obviously they're going to be arrested, but be arrested in a dignified manner.
Yeah.
He's like, don't you touch him right now.
I
Let me walk
have
him
this
out.
theory that the first episode or early in Star Trek Deep Space Nine that they somehow riffed on this. And Amy, I know you're a huge Deep Space Nine fan. Maybe you didn't realize they were doing it, or maybe I'm just imagining it. But I would love someone to confirm.
I'll have to go back and look.
So find out.
Kelley and Elise just watched them all. Maybe I'll ask them.
They might remember. Like, I feel like there was a riff on
Listeners,
this.
if you know what we're talking about, if Freddy's right,
I could be just crazy.
email crew@notlp.com.
Yeah.
And plus, an unintended consequence of this assault, they wiped out a lot of gang activity.
I mean, honestly, it's going to take a while for the gangs to get back up to speed.
Do you think this?
Or did it make a vacuum of power?
Oh dear! Now it's going to get worse.
Wouldn't it be cool
Like a
if
big
this
competition
is
of-
the
for
West
gangs?
West Coast? It's the same world as the Warriors, and Warriors is the East Coast, and this is the West Coast.
I like to think it's all one big Carpenter universe.
Yeah, and then everybody in the middle. You know, like I know it's Walter Hill who did
The Warriors.
the Warriors, but that feels like a John Carpenter movie too.
It has some DNA in common.
Yeah, it's got that vibe. It does probably have some of the tech people are in common, I'm sure.
All right. Loved it. What a way to end the month.
And is it Kim Richards?
Mm-hmm.
She was in this movie a lot more than Denise Richards was in her movie.
Do you remember how we started with Money Plane and we ended up here?
Which one had the most? Probably Robot Wars, right? You think Lisa Rinna was probably the most screen time?
I think maybe between her and Eileen Davidson.
Oh, Eileen Davidson had quite a bit of
Eileen
screen
I
Davidson.
think they
time.
was probably equal.
Yeah.
About the same.
But Kim Richards put Denise Richards to shame.
The Richards is the Richards
Richardses.
now. I'm the Richards captain now.
So this was we did this in lieu of the listener pick, correct?
Yeah, you never got back to me.
Oh, okay.
We're all good. We enjoyed ourselves.
So this was just for fun, Z's.
At the end of every show. Oh, no. New thing we're going to try out.
Okay.
We are going to pick our next month's theme from a hat right now. We've got all of our fun new ideas. And man, Andy has been cranking out. He's been shitting out ideas like it's his job.
Can I plug my album while we're doing this?
Yes.
All right. It's called Live on TV. It's out now. It's wherever you listen to music. Freddie Morris, Live on TV. 4 songs. 2 of them have Amy in them, and one of them has Andy and Amy and Kelley in it. And boy, is it fun. Oh,
Freddy.
and I shook the hat too hard, and a couple of them fell out. So you're gonna pick one out of here, Amy? Andy and I cut up each individual theme idea. And I gently folded it.
And my handwriting is awful. So
I know.
you
Yeah.
can read it.
Freddy's isn't much better.
We have serial killer.
Andy did all the
do.
writing and the cutting. I did the folding.
Oh.
This is my first time.
Oh, happy about this. Buffon who dis.
So what Andy makes the themes? What's the theme about? Boo phone who dis?
It's a riff on New Phone Who Dis.
Oh, I think I got that part.
Sometimes I have to explain my puns because they're real dumb. Basically, movies where phones are very prominent play a big part.
Do we want to start with the movie we were just talking about?
We
I think,
could.
Andy. 976 Evil.
976.
I own this now.
As part of how many movies?
A 5-movie pack. You can buy it for $12.99 or get it as part of a 5-movie pack for $14.99.
And what? Yeah.
And the phone plays a big part in this.
Yes.
Yeah.
I assume because it's about a number.
Well,
Well, Andy, do you remember in our heyday, the age that we are as podcasters, we had 1-900 numbers you could call.
Yeah.
And this movie's about an evil one.
You can call Freddy at one point. Freddy
Krueger, not me.
Yeah, Freddy
yeah.
Krueger had his own hotline. didn't
Yeah,
he?
he did. I think, did Weird Al have one at one point, maybe? I don't know. Everybody had one. It was an easy way to make money. It was just a recording, usually, you called. In this movie, it's an evil one.
It's evil because it takes your money too, because those calls are expensive.
On both sides. Yeah, it's evil twice.
All right. Join us next week for Buffon Who Dis. I love that.
I'll just
And we're
keep
gonna do
this in here for the
976.
future. We can just throw
We will.
Andy, every time you have an idea for a theme, you can throw it in this camouflage.
So you're not going to
ball
wear
cap.
this hat? Ever?
I can
He's
move him
gonna
into
wear
another hat.
He got this hat for free at Beer Fest. It's Happy Dad Beer.
Why don't I get a big
It's camo.
jar and we'll put theme ideas? Every time someone has
You
a
know
theme
what?
idea, you put it in
Why
a
don't
jar.
you go find a potter?
and I'll
Have
one made.
them make something.
I made something. I'll use that.
No, I want it to be made by an elderly witch.
I'll find someone.
All right. At the end of every show, we always say hi to our Beelzebubs. Today is no different from every other time. Patreon.com/NOTLP if you're interested. Matt!
We just had
I have
lunch.
been so, Matt, I have been so thoroughly disgusted with myself in Wordle. I haven't even finished the last 2 because I got frustrated.
I did one today for the first time in forever.
I'll try again.
Wordle.
It's been hard being Amy.
That's how we show each other
Andy's
we love
been
each
doing
other.
well.
I'm doing fine.
You're
I'm
doing
doing
well.
my. If I get 3, that's a really good day.
All right.
4, that's average for me.
I think I did 5 today.
We did the peg game yesterday at Cracker Barrel.
Oh, did you guys win?
No.
It said I was pretty dumb.
Me too. Same. We both got down to 3 pegs.
Yeah. Branan and Emily.
No pig.
Jeffel. Iona Goodwin.
I own a great one.
Dr. Brian.
Low mileage.
Old Dirty Billsterd. Bill Fahrner. Blayne Yogurt. Jordache Jeans. Monica. Jeremy. Cassie. Gamora. She's a good girl. Ernest. And Dave.
Thank you guys. We couldn't do it without you. That is no joke.
I mean, I'd do it without you, but it'd be weird, right?
And if you're still listening
I'd rather you be here.
and you're not a patron, thanks for making it all the way through. All those wonderful names.
Yeah. I'm glad we made it through this month of Real Housewives of Knives because I thought it was going to be all trash.
I thought you guys were, I thought you might quit. And I thought the listeners would rebel.
It was like pleasant surprise. A lot of the movies were.
Agreed.
All right, babies.
All right, bye.
Bye.
When his old bud